Welcome to S.E. Covington and Company, a full-service commercial real estate firm celebrating our 38th year in Houston, Texas. 5 reasons why a tenant typically never sees the true occupancy numbers of their lease and how we correct the issue. First, let me explain these 3 terms, of which only one is normally seen in a lease agreement. The net usable square footage is the tenant's actual office space. The net rentable square footage is the square footage the tenant pays for. The landlord's common area factor is the square footage in a building like lobbies and corridors and is added to the tenant's actual square footage to become net rentable square footage. The landlord typically never shows the common area factor and the usable square footage numbers in a lease and are never discussed with the tenant, as it leads to questions of what is the actual cost of the square footage I'm looking to lease, and it is confusing to a tenant. Secondly, the landlord's broker is usually a third-party vendor and they sell the rentable square footage from what they are told to sell by the landlord, and very rarely does a landlord brokerage firm check the square footage themselves. Also, the landlord space planner is a third-party vendor that is typically trying to utilize an existing amount of space and normally is not concerned with the common area factor, nor can they justify the number. The tenant's representative normally doesn't review usable square footage of a space, nor compare common area and net usable area from building to building, usually just what space works in a building A versus building B, and compares rates and costs using the let's make a deal mentality. And lastly, the tenant's brokerage firm typically doesn't run AutoCAD in-house and doesn't verify usable square footage on the tenant's behalf, only relying on the landlord's third-party vendor. Let me give you the solutions to these issues that S.E. Covington and Company has relied on for the last 37 plus years. And we hope you rely on our proven process, and we feel that everybody should do it this way when they negotiate a lease. We draw a preliminary plan with all the tenant needs prior to researching the market availability. That allows us to have a target of what our needs are on a square foot basis versus looking at a space and hoping it can be redesigned to meet our needs. And in addition, we do not lease more space than is needed. A budget is prepared with the plan already drawn and an estimated common area factor to arrive at a preliminary net rentable square footage. Then we review office submarkets and class of office buildings to determine which location and buildings meet with the tenant's suggested budget and square footage needs. We have a clear target of size requirements and budget before we go to the market, allowing for a more focused search. With millions of square feet available in the Houston office market, you can find the location, the building, the space, and the price. If you don't have a target, you seldom hit it. When spaces are selected to review, we measure the usable space and request common area factors from the landlord to confirm the advertised square footage. As well as when spaces are selected to review, we measure the usable space and request common area factors from the landlord to confirm the advertised footage, as well as compare these usable numbers to competing buildings to negotiate leases on a true occupancy cost, the only way to do it. Rarely, if ever, does the tenant have someone representing their interest that checks the usable square footage of a space, and seldom, if ever, does the tenant see a true occupancy cost compared to the other properties being reviewed. We would like to send you a complete list of our scope of services, which we feel is unique in the marketplace. We welcome a conversation at your convenience. Thank you.